And we're live on a Saturn day jive. Hey, how funny. I just mentioned this before in my earliest video. I am her, but in this life, the Lilith reincarnated. I am the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, light worker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi. There we go. Yogi, guru, and messenger of God. This will be my third video today. I really sat on the floor. I was like, I don't want to. Just kicking and screaming. I don't want to. I have to bring this to a close and move on to some other shit. They gave me, like, there's no way these are both the same teachings. It sucks. I need to teach you about the planets that are aligning tonight. The fucking 5, 6, 7 planets that are aligning. But we've been locking ourselves into this pit of hell. Into this place of desperation. I did mention, I just made a video about Persephone. I want to bring that up too, just to close off the video that I made before that. I turned right to it on 90 and 91. So what I was talking about in my earlier video is I went to the witchcraft store and they had this blend that said Persephone's Descent. I was like, I grabbed the bag and I asked him, what are the intentions put into this? Whatever. What are the intentions put into this? And they're like, well, this is for shadow work. I'm like, not exactly. Have you ever wondered why all bad things happen to you and why you always seem to be the victim of most circumstances? Although your sad story fuels the attention you wish to receive, you are in fact denying yourself a happy and fulfilling life. Persephone acknowledges that you are stuck in rather a difficult rut and offers to help you dig yourself out of this self-initiated purgatory. As a natural, helpful person, you have always willingly offered your help. Sadly, through your exploits of others, your kind compliance has reversed, and now you've become a victim to your own acquiescence. I can't say it. Have suffered emotional upheaval, and inner trauma has led to self-pity, which Persephone understands completely, even if others don't. However, she wants that sob story not only to invite negativity, they can also be a bore to endure. Oh, these people. They serve to reaffirm all the distress you wish to dissolve, thus creating more of the same. Time to change your story. All right, time to change the woe is me attitude. You are a victim of any given situation. Be positive and look for the best in everything. Your attachment to the past is ruling you emotionally. Join or attend a victim support group. Someone close to you needs your help. Complying with rules is key. And it's really funny because the whole video I was telling you is that you have to break the rules. Imagine, as I'm speaking about my old self, and that was it. It's like, this is supposed to take you into you have to catch the first video. And I'm like, no, you have to break the rules. You know what I mean? You're only as good as those that created the rules, but what's outside of the rules is freedom. And that's something, it's like, you know, through multiple lifetimes, you learn this as being the goddess of hell multiple times and a prisoner of my own hells, and just learning that, you know, and that's what I said in those other videos. You go from multiple life evolutions in one life, meaning you play both roles, you play all sides, to understand that it's equality in all things, right? So, you know, as far as being a woe is me, a victim support group is good in the sense of you get empowered listening to people overcome their fucked up situations that are twice as bad as your fucked up situation. Okay? Victim of Greek origin, she was carried off to the underworld by Hades without struggle. Persephone appears willing to fulfill her function without question, and unlike most goddesses, she is and that's what I said in that video. I was like, that's not, you don't understand. There was no struggle. She's not going to teach you that. She gives in to it. She was there just to observe and learn and pity, to spread. She was nothing more than a light, that version. And they didn't understand it. It's like, if you wanted to understand your shadows, then you go into, you know what I mean, Medusa. another form of the, you know what I mean, the serpent, meaning the light gone dark. She didn't go dark. She just willingly went without question. She is, let's see. Persephone appears willing to fulfill her function without question, and unlike most goddesses, she is of a certain suburban nature. And it's like, you know, that's what I was trying to point out in my last video. It's like, yeah, whatever you say. And that's, you know, that's the thing, is what's the difference between Hades and Lucifer? Lucifer hated the life that God gave him. And that's the same thing with Persephone. I mean, Lilith hated the life that God had given him, whereas Persephone and Hades did not. He showed that he loved the life that God had given, you know what I mean, that Zeus had given him, and that it was a great world, and that these were his people, and this is how, you know, this is this, and this is that, and you want to drink, and this is what we do, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, but I can't leave. And it's just kind of like Beauty and the Beast situation. It's like, I always refer to him as the dirty uncle. It's a funny story. Anyways, let's move on. Before that video, we got sucked into all these dirty memories of all these men I hooked up with. Did I have any visuals? No, we talked about how sad that is. All I have is the guilt and shame. What?
It's my own phone.
I have no idea, my friend. I am in the middle of a video. So, as soon as we said this, I knew this. I was like, ugh, I turned right to her. Let's just get right to it. My children are always present. Sheila Nagig is a powerful procreative force whose witchery expertise can be found in sex magic, fertility rituals, protection spells. If you are brave enough to seek her in reverence and wish to improve your witchy skills, she will offer to share her wisdom and give you a choice. For she knows the moment you make the bold decision, the mysteries of the universe will support you as you set off in a new direction. There are always choices and opportunities to those who are brave enough to make decisions. If you choose to take the path of the wholeness, Sheila Nagig will encourage you to do so with awareness and honor, for every step you take creates your future. However, she watches when you dishonor your sexuality, when you gave yourself up to be used like a piece of meat because of your desperation for affection and to be loved. And that's what I told you. I was like, oh, she's all in my face right now. She's showing me all these guys I've slept with. And that's what I mean, is like, you know a face, but you know the stage of where you're being put. Guys, please, pretty please, with a cherry on top, have an ice cream. Stick an ice cream in your mouth and quit talking. She heard you suffer in shame from guilt you felt for abuse you suffered through your need of love and affection. When you believe that okay, I didn't write this right. When you believe that some love is better than no love, you open yourself up to abuse. Because your message is clearly one of desperation to be used and maltreated, and it screams, I'm not worthy of love. Damn, right, bitch? All in your face, right? You have to go catch my morning video. That's it. They just showed me all these guys that I had, I guess. That's why I started laughing. I was like, were they my boyfriends? What was this? And then I just got to the end of it. I was like, ultimately, it was codependency. I said just these words, that I just wanted to be, it was better to be loved by somebody than nobody. And that I gave myself for the attention that was given to me. Yeah, I've been through this. We're going a little deeper, and my fucking ovaries are killing me about this. I just want to point it out. When you go into these places, you go all in the guts. Those who have experienced sexual abuse or rape will know what rock bottom feels like as their safe world crashes around them and left them feeling distraught and powerless. Sheila Nagig is also a witness, and that goes back to my husband. He's a dirty, filthy, fucking disgusting freak. Right? And if I didn't do as he said, he threatened to, both of them. If I didn't do as they said, they threatened to go find someone else. And now I look back at the sick behaviors and the things that I tolerated just to please these men, knowing that it wasn't going to be pleasing, and I should have no girl should have done it, but in the sense of being a bitch, it's like, you should have done that with some other bitch. You know what I mean? Like, the most hideous memory I can possibly think of, and I kept hidden. It was so hideous. It's such a terrible thing. And the very next day is when I ran away. I'm like 9 months pregnant, bro. I'm too big for this. I'm literally too big. I have her 2 weeks later, dude. I could have had her on that bus. Seriously, I'm too big for this. And like he like literally puts a laptop on my back, meaning he's not looking at me. He's watching something else and using me as a rag doll and literally shoving me and my pregnant body into the fucking bed. It was a total fucking rape scene. And after it was all done, I felt so awful that that's what it took for me to actually leave. But that was just the beginning. That was when my daughter was born. How much longer was he in my life? How much more did I endure that I don't know? Do you know what I mean? It's a terrible story, and it's a terrible story for my children to hear, and I wish nobody would hear these things. I wish nobody would hear these things. And that's what it means, is you hide these things, bro, that have happened to you. And this is exactly it, is it pulls it out of your guts, and it's a terrible thing to say. But what was I doing? I just was trying to keep my man. But at what cost? These are horrible things to face, bro. These are horrible places, and I have to rip this fucking scar off to show you that it's okay to rip yours off too. Sheila Nagig is also witness to those carnal exploits are driven by insatiable sexual appetites through the unconscious search for love and for some meaning of life. These acts are cries for help that often stem from a lack of nurturing and love in childhood and are carried out to prove a person's worth and to make them popular or sexually attractive. Behaving in primal fashion is dishonoring of the divinity that resides within us, and abusing that divinity will help you lock in despair where you will remain powerless. When you exist, and I gotta stop there, and that's why it is, you know what I mean, with all these crazy, horrible stories of what's been done to my body, that was the biggest wonder to me. Why did I feel like I wanted to give my body to him? After everything, all I wanted was my body to be safe, and that's what I say often. The best way I could describe it, I tried to make a joke out of it. I would say, they'd say, "Are you single? You got a man?" No, I just came out of R. Kelly's meat locker, so I don't really fuck around. And that was the best way I could put it into words, where it was as intense as what it really was, but at the same time take the ice off of it. You know what I mean? No, that wasn't rain. Sorry. I mean, fuck. In that sense is like, I didn't let nobody near me. I didn't want anything, and that's what I say too. It's like my recovery according to societal, rehabilitational norms was either to be full-on lesbian and fear men for the rest of my life, never let another man touch me, or a priestess, which was abstinence. I went with the other way. No, I don't need it. In the sense of it wasn't something that I enjoyed. It was always given. You know what I mean? It wasn't something, it was just an act. When you exist within the silence of self-blame, it is time to make a decision. So then when Bobby comes into my life and I just do these things with him, I have no idea why I just did this shit. And I start to realize this is your programming. So I tell him that, I start to explain that. It's like, no, I was trained to be this. Like a whole sex doll. That's what I got to do to keep these men. I got to be better than the other women. Otherwise, I'm going to lose them to these other women. Can you imagine what that means to a 15-year-old girl? That was my first relationship. Was competition. And it only grew. So then you look at this pattern that I ripped the Band-Aid off of earlier. It's like I've always been a side bitch. Just the best side bitch that ever was. I was always a piece in their puzzle. It didn't matter if I was a main piece or a side piece or what piece. There was always many pieces to these men. So then you look at fucking, here comes Wolfman with all of his women and problems. And it still doesn't turn me off until it does. But it didn't turn me off with Bobby. It doesn't turn me off with my superstars. That's where they caught me, in that other place. I was like, I could deal with them and their women and their bullshit. But not you and your women and your bullshit. But what about this man and his bullshit? What about what you took from your ex-husbands? You've been taking this and taking this and taking this. You're cool with having all these women and all these and this men entertaining all these women and you just competing for their love. When that happened? This morning, while I was sitting there laughing, thinking I was on a roller coaster. Roller coaster of love. Roller coaster. Oh, ooh, ooh, ooh. Talk about a fucking train. Fucking train wreck. Came in like a wrecking ball. And that's, you know, did I know this? No, bro. This is one fucked up memory after another, bro. And then you start to realize the patterns and the shit. They hit me with 4 memories this morning. 4 unrelated dudes. Let's just throw in 4 new dudes. What? I slept with them? It started with 1. I started the video with 1. In 5 minutes, 3 more came into my freaking memory bank. Oh, you slept with that one too. What about the guy you lived with, Nick? That was my boyfriend? I guess it was my boyfriend. I lived with.
Black dude?
No, he was a white guy.
Oh.
Way before you were ever born. Total white dude. He was a chef, a sous chef.
Oh.
I know, right? Weird. Weird. Oh, God! Now they just threw in the fucking UFC fighter. Oh, God.
Bro, what? Exactly.
And I didn't like him. I told jokes that he had a really small wiener. Yeah, it was real. But I can't see it, but I remember telling about it. But yet I was sleeping with him and his little small wiener. Why? I don't know, because I shouldn't be sleeping with someone, right? Why am I not sleeping with someone? I don't know. And you wonder why I don't even remember any of this, because it was, as Amizi said, fucking trash. Who was trash? Me. I mean, maybe they had trash. That's what I said. I called in one of my rages last time we visited one of these stages. I was like, fuck you, Bobby, and your trash dick. That's why I don't even remember your trash dick, you trash dick motherfucker. I kept calling him trash dick, and everybody was like, ooh, ooh. And then I realized, I don't even know if you have trash dick. It could be the best dick I ever had in my life. I wouldn't even know. It could be the best dick ever. And then we start listening to these card readings talking about well endowed, and it was all this great stuff. And I was like, well, that explains how I ended up at a sex store. Just kidding. I ended up at a sex store when I was 19.
Staring at the toys in the hot topic.
Just like, Anyways, going back to into all of this, yeah, they just like come and fuck up your shit. And they're like, hey, you need to heal this shit. Let's heal this shit. Let's keep going. All right. When you approach Sheila Nagig, do so in honor and reverence, for she is the guardian of the threshold to sacred places. As you meet her at the entrance, it's in cold, hard silence, she will offer you a choice. If you accept her and the protection she offers, she will open up the gateway to the universe. She is the keeper to the vast darkness in which creation is birthed, which is the only direction to go if you wish to return to the light. Protection. As I was going through this stage of the dark night of the soul, of utter desperation, I had lucid dreams that I was being verbally attacked by a woman who was standing in front, this is a funny story, in her front door, and I walked through my home village. Without thinking, I immediately responded to the verbal abuse and finger pointing, and I lifted up my skirt, pulled down my underpants, and thrusted my pelvic region in her direction. I completely flashing my yoni at her. When I woke up, I was ashamed at my actions. I couldn't believe at what I'd done, that I had sunk so low. How embarrassing. I didn't tell anyone about that dream, even though the vivid images of the scene kept haunting my days. You know what came back to me, guys? Do you remember the first vision, the first dream, and I spent weeks trying to crack it? I sat with it again, and I had nothing. Do you remember the dream that terrified me? In the beginning of this fucking awakening, right? I'm trying to work with Bobby. I'm in this weird ass place. I'm in this really great comfortable zone with Russ. But I'm in this place. It's just a weird place. And I have this dream multiple times during this place. And I'm trying to break the code of this dream. Going back to dreams and not remembering them. It came back to me yesterday. It was yesterday it came back to me. I have this dream. Me and Russ are kids. We're little. And we're playing in the dirt. And we're having the best time. And then Bobby walks up and grabs my hand. And I have to get up and I have to walk with him. And I walk away looking back at Russ, so sad and heartbroken. But I have to go. And I spent weeks trying to figure out what that dream meant. You know what I mean? Like Joseph, like, what did this dream mean? And I got a lot out of it, and it's all in the videos. But then the dream came back. And what did that dream mean now? What does that dream mean to you guys now? Having we lived this whole journey. Does it mean something that I didn't see? I remember being so upset that he was pulling me away. Like I love Russ. I don't want to leave Russ. I want to sit here with Russ. But I have no choice but to give up and go with Bobby. And I was scared and I was angry. I remember throwing a fit. Like, don't I have a choice? Why can't I just stay here with him? Why do I have to go with this guy? It's like there was all of this turmoil, and it happened in the very beginning of the awakening. Now look back where we've been after going, shit, how many more came in and took my hand and I just went away? Right? It's very interesting. Now I go back to this message that I was guided to send Bobby this morning. I haven't sent him any messages. And I was like, the one thing I know about this connection is that no matter how much time and space goes by, the feelings won't go away. The feeling of love that I have for him will not go away. It didn't go away after 5 years. It didn't go away after 2 years. I haven't talked to him in nearly a month, almost 2 now. It's not going away. The desire, yes. The questions go away, but the feeling doesn't. And then I saw Russ, right? It's like no matter what Russ does, I don't stop loving him. And with all of them, it's not the same type of love, but it's endless. Meaning it doesn't go away, I just go away. Or you go away. But the love doesn't go away. There's nothing you can say or do. You will get a rise out of my skin. You might bother my skin who has been bothered. And that's it too. It's like, I'm sorry I hurt you. You didn't hurt me. Nobody really hurt me. I was hurting myself by trying to not hurt. You can say that, going back to my ex-husband and all the physical abuse and shit. The physical abuse only hurt for so long. How long does it take for a bruise to go away? A couple of days. I didn't have time to stay in the pain of what you just did, because I was always afraid of what you'd do next. So in the essence, were you hurting me, or did I keep myself in a place where you could hurt me? And it's like, that's all Bobby said is, I don't want to hurt you. But that's all that I get out of this is get my feelings hurt. But it's only my feelings that are getting hurt. And the stronger I get to understand my feelings, the less hurt I feel about it. Right? I have hurt feelings. Yeah, you add to them, but when I look at them, I can see that they were hurt before you did it. You just pushed a nerve. You pushed a button. You weren't the cause of my pain. You don't hurt me. You don't have the power to make me hurt. My feelings are my feelings. You can say and do things to me. If I hurt, then there's something inside of me. That's me. Because other people can say and do things to me and it doesn't bother me. And that's what I mean is, we have this is unrelated to this, or maybe it is. I'm not sure right now as I'm looking at the Knights Templar and all these words, Egypt and Asia and shit. People don't hurt us. We're hurt by what we experience. We hold a feeling that is hurt. Don't get me wrong. When I fucking fall on my ass, I hurt. It hurts my body. But as far as, you know what I mean, the body heals quite faster than the actual, you know what I mean, the memories. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, Russ, I didn't mean to hurt you that bad. I didn't realize I was hurting you so badly. Nah, bro. You were just fucking around. I was really hurt. And I'm sorry I hurt you while I was hurt. You know what I mean? Every time I hurt, I had to say things to bring up your hurts. Say things that made you hurt back. No matter what, if you were trying to fuck with me, you maybe didn't know how bad it was going to hurt. He really doesn't. You know, writing his songs and shit, he has no idea what's going to happen afterwards. He has the best intentions when he's trying to send me messages through music. Same with Ali. They don't realize how bad it's going to hurt me. And it's like, I didn't mean to hurt you when I wrote this. You didn't, bro. You didn't hurt me. Fendi Bucket didn't hurt me. My own truth hurt me. Your words were my truth, and I couldn't take it. And that's why I don't listen to Marshall's new album. I don't want to hurt. I don't want you to remind me of what a terrible parent I was. I'll face it when the time comes. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And that's why it's like, your fucking music, if you guys don't fucking stop hurting people with your music, in the sense of, you know, it's cool to be that guy, Russ, to be the guy that wants to spoil someone, but it's not cool to be the girl in all your songs. Psycho, losing control. Can't get this right.
Move the clock.
I don't want to be the girl in all these songs. But that's the really beautiful part, is because, like,
I'm supposed to be drawing
your crowds, all those girls are me. That's why they crowd around you, is because they know what it feels like to be that girl. But that's not a good crowd, bro. We don't want to come together in our pain like this. You know what I mean? I don't know what the dream meant. Not that vision. That one never made sense to me. What is the point of that? But, you know, all of these guys had to bring out stuff that was, you know, other lives, but stuff that was in this life too. You know what I mean? Logic came in last night. Logic made multiple videos. I swear. He had to have. We'll keep it between ourselves. But I made the mistake of posting my ex-husband's page. And naturally, why wouldn't you go look? And Logic saw him being a total idiot. And Logic made multiple videos of how sickening it really is to... He's like, tag that person that does this. I'm like, oh, God. And then it's like, as much as I want to say that it's just my ex-husband, I've witnessed Tree do it multiple fucking times. And then it's like, oh, God. But anyways, you know, in that sense, is they're going to bring some stuff out. You didn't do nothing. This shit really happened in my life, and you're pushing my buttons, fuckhead. But luckily, it's you, and we're this far. But in the beginning, no. I thought it was you. It's you. Nah. And that's where when you start digging deeper, and you realize it's like, this was a wound way before you. And I did tell that in the beginning to Bobby. It's like, I was hurt before I met you. I was hurting myself. And even then, you know, going into this situation, I knew I was going to get my feelings hurt. But I needed the understanding more than the hurt feelings. I can overcome these feelings. That's what I said in my message to him, the last one he chose to see. I was like, I just need some this isn't going to end like last time. I just need some time to process the feelings. Meaning now I've seen what I have everything I need. Give me a minute. Instead, he just took off and left me with him. And I understood that how I couldn't handle that before, when all I was trying to do was love you, as we say in these stories. I tried to do the same thing with Russ. We were having lots of fun, and then I don't remember it, but right after came Nasty, and he used my memory in that song, and I went ballistic. I told him that the only memory I had was Bobby sticking in the tip. And he used that in that song, Nasty. And it became his biggest song. He hit millions within like a week, bro. But I went crazy. It destroyed everything. It destroyed me. And I tried to destroy him, and I couldn't believe what he had done. It was sexy. But it was personal. It was intimate. It was my only memory, bro. He used my most vulnerable piece as a piece in his song, and he kept doing it. And that's why I can't, going back to it, fucking, you're using my fucking pain and suffering to make money and popularity and make yourself big. While I'm, like, you're literally destroying me. You know what I mean? Fendi bucket. That was some bullshit. And I just took it. As soon as he released it, I took it and I just cried. I was like, you're right. Fuck it. I'm not even going to fight this one. This is me, and I am all fucked up. I will not let anyone buy me or hold me or have any power over me.
Put one on me now.
I won't let anyone take care of me, but all I want is someone to take care of me. And all I'm trying to do is fix that, because I'm fully aware what's going on here.
Well, you just took the button.
But I can't fix it until I know where it comes from. And there's so many layers to where that comes from. Not just this life and these experiences, but every layer of my being. It's not in there to do this. To be taken care of. Why? Because from the beginning, I fled from it and I took care of myself.
Move the clock so I can see the buttons.
From the beginning of time. I hear a huge ring through both my ears. It's going straight through my head. It's the same frequency. Alright. Let's see. Protection. Anyways, what is this saying about her vagina? Don't tell anyone about my dream, even though the vivid image of the scene kept haunting me. A few weeks later, I discovered in ancient cultures the vagina was a symbol of protection and was believed to imbued with protective energies. To avert wickedness, women in ancient times would deliberately flash their nether regions in the face of evil and to the devil himself. I saw something funny. This is what popped in my head right now. Sorry, I don't know, maybe it's related. DJ Khaled had came out and said that he doesn't go down on his wife, but he makes her go down on him. And I'm like, why not? And then I got this answer. That's it. It's in your programming to ask more. Don't ask. I don't want to know. He said because somebody made him eat. Somebody forced that on him before he was ready. And now he'll never do that again. Funny how trauma works. And now his wife doesn't know that pleasure. And they're married. She'll never have to. She'll never experience that because of whatever happened to him. Why he doesn't do that. Do such things. Oh no. It wouldn't be a sexual conversation unless we're talking about blowjobs, right? I don't want to talk about this right now. Let's keep reading before it's too quiet in the room. Alright, this ritual of defense derived from ancient Mesopotamia times when Ishtar was worshipped as the primary and first known goddess. Her vulva is referred to in an archaic poetic text as... I'm not reading this in front of my kids. Stranger as yourself. We're going to jump on to page 149. As you witnessed the change in your life and you understood you've become... who you've become lately, you will try desperately to cling on to who you once were. Just like the enigma Sheila Nagig, you too become a mystery as you won't even recognize who you are anymore. Memories will surface of you as a child and how you were a teenager and beyond, and you might feel devastated as you recall the days of freedom and you weren't a slave to your mind. The pain of recollection may urge you to take steps to get the old you back again, but that's impossible, for that person has gone and you can never go back. Instead, allow the past you to merge with you, with who you are today, as you remember you are not your past. So I had to do a lot of extreme self-discovery as to why I did these things, why I acted that way with him and nobody else. And that was because I was taught that was a form of love, right? But there was only certain, I'm watching my kids here, certain acts that I myself enjoyed. So going back to this interaction, it was like, if I do this, it's because I want to, not because I feel forced to, or I feel intimidated, or I feel like this is going to work for something other than the fact. You know what I mean? So walking into the situation, I knew it. I was asking for trouble, but I was asking for understanding. And it's like, how can you just, you know what I mean? How can you just let it go? It's going the same way it's always went, but this time it'll go differently because now I understand what was going on, if that makes sense. And still going back to it, it's like, I didn't stop loving him the last time he ghosted me. Yeah, it drove me crazy, but it's not driving me crazy this time. I have more understanding, compassion, and all that bullshit that fucking twin flame journey gives you. But in the sense of, do you sit there and you're like, you don't love him? No, I fucking totally still love him. I understand. There's no reason not to. You have to take the time to understand. And then forgiveness comes to play, and then you go back to the original place of where you felt before something happened. What happened? The same thing that always happens. He went quiet. I don't know. And you think about it, that's what happened. I found that later. It's like, he went quiet and I never talked to him. I don't know, many reasons. I saw it in the messages and stuff, and then all of a sudden he came back 5 years fucking later, right? And then I disappeared. And then, like, seeing him this time, it was 2 years later, and I'm sitting in front of him. I haven't seen him since the last 2 years, where I was so ashamed and pissed off and upset because of us seeing him and what had happened. And yet I'm sitting there with all these feelings. He looks older. He's not any hotter. He's not anything more. I'm just sitting there with all the same feelings, right? In the sense of, I'll see you again, and I'll still feel that way. I'll just know how to act differently, hopefully. That's all you can do. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not gonna see you again. It's the end. Shut the fuck up. That was it. God kept driving me around your fucking neighborhood and shit. I'll see you again, motherfucker. When you're ready. Like, God, when God says it's ready, that's like, I wasn't ready. That's what I said. I wasn't ready. No, you're ready. It is the past that has prepared you for the future, and when you finally step into the light, you will become the whole of who you are with all your emotions and memories. In the meantime, you will find that a loss of identity and losing your sense of purpose will make you feel very isolated, lonely, and anxious. When you go through a trying ordeal alone, the lack of emotional support can increase your anxiety, which may change your perception of how bad things really are and hinder your coping abilities. If you're experiencing any of the following physical symptoms listed below, think about whether they are being caused by anxiety. All right, here we go. Increased heart rate and muscle tension. Legs turning to jelly. Internal and external trembling. Hyperventilation and difficulty breathing. Dizziness. Upset tummy, nausea. I was going to sing that song. What, the Pepto-Bismol song? Tension, headaches, excessive perspiration, dry mouth, palpitations. Psychological symptoms and anxiety can go hand in hand with this stage of feeling like you're going mad, feeling as though you've lost control, thinking you're going to die, thinking you're going to faint, I'm going to be sick. And that's it too. I was like, oh God, I'm going to be sick. You will not believe what I just saw. What is it? And that's what it is you learn how to cope better. Like, in the sense of, you don't take on so much emotional... I'm like, Houston, we have liftoff. An ego death is an ego death is an ego death. You learn how to have better understanding that this is happening. I mean, it's Saturday. Okay. Ooh. Oh, hold on. Whoa. Right? In the sense of, some of them are harder than others, but it's just as hard. You just, I don't know, dude. You don't get where I'm at without doing this a whole lot. So, in the beginning, yeah, I'm going crazy. You're going crazy. Oh, God, I'm going crazy. You feel as though you've lost control. You think you're going to die. You think that you're going to faint or be sick or have an incurable disease. Oh, yeah, that too. You feel as though everybody is looking at you and criticizing you. Yeah, because they are. They're watching you literally lose your fucking mind. Literally, and that's what happened. The whole fucking studio, everybody watched me fucking lose my mind. You feel as though everybody's looking at you and criticizing you. You feel detached from everything and everyone. And that's it. Every time I go around you guys, you would just judge me. No matter what I say I'm going through, you just want to pick at me and judge me. You want to run away and hide to escape your situation. And that's it too. I have these fucking moments and then I sneak into Marshall's DMs and tell him, I just want to die. Why did I think that way? Oh my God, I wish I was never alive. I don't want nobody to know. And then by the afternoon, they make me tell you my whole story. I'm like, oh God. On the edge of the entire time and on alert to all that's around you. Are exhausted from all of the above. Rejection, loss, betrayal, and everything that the Dark Knight presents can wound you deeply psychologically, leaving you feeling ostracized. Neuroscientists has revealed that the isolation causes us to experience actual physical pain, and it is impediment to good mental health. If you begin to question everything that's going on, and in those lonely moments, your mind will work overtime to give every thought of perception a sinister flavor. This will leave you frozen in a place, wallowing in unease. When this happens, your mind will quickly race to the darkest possible conclusions. If you cannot easily rid yourself of bleak, negative thoughts, feel completely hopeless, and it is critical that you seek professional help. And there's parts of this where you really want to die, bro. Like, you can't take it no more. I can't. How am I ever going to live after what you know what I mean? And that's where you got to get up and realize this is old. When you get to those moments where you feel like you're going to die, you got to remember you've been alive for a long time since that moment. This is old. You're totally alive. You're just in it real deep. And realistically, having that feeling is totally okay at that moment because you're in so deep that if you would have felt it as much as you're feeling it right now, you would have felt that way. We go through a lot of things that we wish we never went through, and we wish we could just die, dude. I wish these things never happened to me and that nobody ever finds out. And if anybody ever finds out, I'm gonna die. You know what I mean? There's a lot of them. As a freaking survivor of so much child abuse, sexual, physical, mental, and emotional abuse from parents, strangers, you know what I mean? Fucking incest, all this shit, bro. Everybody that used and abused my, you know what I mean, my little bitty body. It's like, you don't never want nobody to know that you've been run, you know what I mean, run through the meat locker like that. And then it only gets worse. That's just the little me. Then when I actually had control of me, look what I did to me. I let other people do that. When I took control of myself, I still let them do that. All the way through. Till when? Till I can't say till I got divorced, because he came back after the divorce. I guess probably about 30 years, more than that. More than that. And that's it. It's like, if he came back, then I had to sleep with him. Was I enjoying sleeping with this man?
Probably not.
Did I ever?
Probably not.
going back into it, it's like these are very difficult things. It's like it's funny to listen to me talk all dirty and shit. It's all fun and games until, I have to face your actual fucking penis and all of the things that a penis has done in my life. It's like as much as I want to love you, that thing that you think with is has done nothing but harm me in my life. Do you know what I mean? So for me to even want to fight to get that close is a big, 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 big ass deal. And why am I doing that? Because God says that if I put up this good ass fight, I'm gonna have a good ass husband and a good ass life. The other option is that I don't. I never know a man's touch. My story ends with blowjob Bobby. Because I'm not doing that again. I learned that lesson. I'm not giving out blowjobs. Just saying. In the sense of, that's it. It ends there. And whatever sex we may have had that I don't remember. That's the end of my story if I don't keep fighting for this. And every time I fight, I gotta realize why I don't fight. The more I want to fight, the more I gotta realize what kept me from fighting before, which are these fucked up memories. These fucked up things. You know what I mean? How men treated my body before this. And this is all fucking poetic justice to the fact of being Lilith. I refused to give my body to man. And then I used it to toy with man, and now look it. Man has completely abused my body. I was right. Should have never gave. No, just kidding. There's no right or wrong. It's just an experience. Anyways, going back to it, it's like you really face these things. And that, if we're not even talking about you've experienced some kind of sexual abuse, the physical abuse too. You go back to these memories of how your parents talked to you, how they treated you, how they let other people treat you, how they neglected you, how they didn't care for you. It makes you hurt so bad that you just want to die. And you got to tell yourself, you're so strong. You made it. You made it. Because that was little you that they treated like that. You're grown now. You're grown now. You made it. When people were treating little you like that, dude. Going back to my mom. Oh, man. And my brain is like, that was an evil, wicked bitch. Bro, the more I tell you, the more you think that. And that's why, Marshall, he's painted one hell of a picture of his mother. But I tell him, I can't. I take that whole fucking image of her completely and tear that to pieces. And I show him that was just a weak woman, bro, that needed love. And she took it out on you. And that's why I can see, you know what I mean? I can see past his pain through my own. That's why it's so important to do these type of healings, dude. You got to heal yourself, bro. You got to feel better about yourself. But by doing it, you help people feel better about what they can't feel. There's a lot of people that have, maybe didn't even have bad childhoods of any type of abuse whatsoever and can listen to my stories and they can feel really bad. For not just me, but other people. They have compassion now. They have understanding about something they have no idea about. They have fucking no idea that kind of shit goes down. But then I can tell you my story and 5 other people in the same fucking story. It's like the shit goes down. It goes down. Goes down in the DMs. In the sense of, it's some bullshit. And that's where you're like, God, why'd you curse me? Why'd you abandon me? Why'd you leave me to die? It's like, hold on. This happens a lot. He abandoned all of us. He cursed all of us. He didn't care about all of us, or all of us had the same trials and tribulations. Can I get a witness? Drop a dime. Cash App's in the bottom. Just kidding. All right. Yeah, I think we went in deep enough. We're not going to listen. We're not going any deeper. We're not going any deeper. Here's a list of signs of mental stress which you might be identifying with. You feel sad, down, and depressed. Confused thinking or a reduced ability to concentrate. You have excessive fears or worries or extreme feelings of guilt. Extreme mood changes, withdrawal from friends and activities, significant tiredness and low energy or problem sleeping, detachment from reality, paranoia, even hallucinations, an inability to cope with daily problems or stress, trouble understanding and relating to situations and people, problems with alcohol or drug use, major changes in eating habits, changes in your sex drive, excessive anger, hostility or violence, suicidal thoughts. Going back to my earlier video, I was talking about, you know what I mean, always being around drugs and shit. And it's like, you know, it's 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 a choice, but it's not a judgment call on your life. Because who am I to judge when I've been all part of that life? I chose a different life. I can't choose to forget the life that I was born into and the people and the places and the things. We want to run away from it, but that's exactly who we are. And those people can recognize that you know what I mean? I know your lingo. I'm from your world. I'm an OG of your world, and I'm here to speak life into you to get you out of this world like I got out of that world. You know what I mean? Like Marshall, bastard. You know, he can be 21 years clean, but if he's over there promoting gin and juice and, you know, promoting people, you know, being caught at the weed man's store and shit, not to say it, it's like, you know, I smoke, you know what I mean? I smoke for religious purposes, you know what I mean? Obviously, for medicinal purposes. But in the sense of, you know, what we were talking about, it's like you can't serve two gods. You can't be like, oh, I'm all sobriety, I'm all straight edge, and then, you know, come buy a drink with the homies in the hood. What? Going through all of that. If you've been given a diagnosis of ill health and have been betrayed in some way, are grieving, are caring for a sick loved one, are cut off from family or friends, or had your heart broken, your inner critic will feed you lies that'll jab away at you, wearing you down until you believe you are no good, not worthy, or even that you will die. And that's where we've lost them all too. Everybody that you know in our, you know what I mean? Take a moment and think about every celebrity that's not with us right now. I can't list all of their names. I wanted to Google how Mac died. But ultimately, you know what I mean? Why are they taking drugs? Are they doing it to have fun? Once in a while when they're around people? This is how they have fun. Let's take drugs and get real fucked up in our head. Right? That's what drugs are, right? It's a fuck it. Everyone takes a little bit of fucking in them. But then you get too fucked up and it's, oh fuck, what just happened? So anyways, going back to it, you know, Robin Williams, he was nothing but love and light, but he was living in full darkness, and you know what I mean? Heath Ledger, you know what I mean? Michael Jackson. Shall we keep going? You know what I mean? Brittany Murphy. All of them. What was killing them? What killed them? What killed Juice? What killed them? Their feelings, bro. Their feelings about their memories. The memories don't kill you. It's the feelings you have about them. We can change how you feel about what, and that's what we read about, reframing it. We got to go back and look at it. And it's going to fucking kill you. But we can, and that's the death. But we're going to transform, reframe, reprogram this, and you're going to be reborn. We're going to restart the system with a new way of looking at this. The memory will be there, but you will have a different feeling about it. Meaning, Bobby and I have the same memory of when we saw each other last. We have two very different feelings about it. Do you know what I mean? And that goes back to the first time. I felt horrible and I felt all of these ways. He didn't. You know what I mean? We can reframe it. And that's it. Is I had to go back to those memories to understand why I felt that way. And then have understanding for my feelings. Meaning my feelings were valid. I had every reason to freaking feel that way. But do I hold that feeling? No, I understand it now and I've laid it to rest. And that's what it means is you hold these feelings because you don't have an understanding of them. You haven't let them go. They live inside. I just don't get it. You know what I mean? And that's where you got to be careful. No questions. When you get the vision, you can't have details. So like going back to the rape scene, right? That one almost killed me. I stayed in it for 3 days. 3 days. I kept staring at this picture. Huh? Might be. No, it's not. For 3 days, all I had was this image. I'm in bed and these two people. And this is all I got. And all I wanted more. I wanted to know. But I couldn't. Spent 3 days. How did I get there? How did I get out? What happened while I was there? Those were the three questions I kept asking myself over and over and over. And I just sat there staring at myself in a terrible place, trying to understand how I got there, what happened to me, and how did I get out. And I couldn't. And the longer I stayed there, the more it hurt. I couldn't get any answers other than the hurt. And it hurt longer and longer. And that's when I tell everyone, don't ask more. That's the grace. God doesn't want you to feel the shame of what you were really doing there. God doesn't want you to feel the shame of what they really did to you. God doesn't want you to see your walk of shame or you running away in shame after it happened. I didn't understand that. But after that one memory where I almost died, 3 days in it, I never did that again. I never tried to understand more than what I was given. And that's it. I just needed to focus on this one memory. It's in there. Just this one thing that happened to you. This is hurting you. Go back and feel how bad it hurts. And tell yourself that you're okay. And see that it was okay. Understand what happened to you. Go see what happened to you. You don't know what happened to you. You don't know the whole story. You don't know how bad it felt. Go back there and see the whole story and tell yourself the whole story and tell yourself you're okay. It's pretty much what we're doing around here. It's pretty much what we're doing around here. So yeah, I told you my whole story. They all came up. There was like 4 lovers. I realized that I had slept with 4 other guys, and I was trying to figure out, well, why and who and what brought me to these guys. And Sheila Nagig, I mean, it's our inner knowing. How do I know? Because this isn't my first time reading this book. And that's why I told you last night. This book teaches you how you go through your dark levels. So as soon as I was in this, I knew I was with her. Okay? So when the Dark Goddess has you in her clutches of despair, you will feel so wretched that you can't continue and will beat yourself up for not behaving in a mature fashion as you once did. And that's really hard too, is, going back to it. God made me quit my job. Like right now, you'll notice week after week, you get so fucked up in your body just trying to heal your memories. The feelings that come out fuck your body up. And that's why you can only work on you, and you gotta let God work on the outside. But then now here I am trying to just, all right, bitch, get up, go to work, get up. You gotta pay the bills. You gotta go, put your face on. You gotta pick up the kids. I would do this all day, bro. Try to pull myself together before they got home. Like, just be fucking normal. Don't tell anyone. Don't cry. Don't nothing. Finally, I couldn't. And they started to see it. It was too much. It was all the time. And they learned shadow work. They know what that means. That means that I'm facing traumas and pains, and I'm crying, and they know I'm healing, but they know I'm hurting. And that's okay, because then they can see other people do it, and they'll be like, oh, they're in their shadows. They're hurting, or they're healing. There is no point in looking back when you have come this far. When the effects of the dark night of the soul, or the dark night, have taken their toll, and have challenged your cognitive capacity, your traumatic actions when dealing with mental overload may cause someone to accuse you of having gone mad. And that's it. Nobody thought I was crazy until I started to try to heal the crazy, and then they thought I was crazy. Because it was bringing it out. Just trying to understand it was bringing out all of this emotional, like, don't touch me. I mean, everything hurt. I was screaming at people. I was just literally a walking ball of hurt. And I kept just ripping it all out. I wouldn't just stop. As soon as I could stop hurting about something else, I was ripping more out. More and more hurt, just ripping to the bottom of where is all this hurt? When does it stop? Where did it all come from? I don't know. I mean, I can show you. My memories go as far back as like 3 to 4 when I'm getting raped. It's like, I don't know when does it matter where it started? It's like how much of it is affecting me is what it is now. And that's it, is I don't even know this is stopping me. But then here we are again. It's like, they're preparing me. It's like, dude, do you realize And I didn't. Again, every time we look back at it, we see more of it. And that's the wheel of life. If we go look at the dates, bro, we're probably exactly on the same date we looked at it last time. That's catching that wheel. Or it could just be the planets that they're going to have me do a whole fucking teaching on later. There's like 6 planets that are pushing us in all areas of our lives right now. One hell of a push. It's a planetary push. In essence, they're pushing my fucking nerves, my pocket, my fucking physical body. They're pushing me into eating a lot of chocolate, to be honest. I noticed we got a lot of sweets in the house. Way more than ever. We got puddings and cakes and all this sweet stuff. Like, maybe I should eat something better than sweets. Anyways, during these times, dude, you got to understand that you're doing the work that nobody else does. Just sitting by yourself, talking yourself through this stuff, facing this stuff. It isn't stuff, going back to the end of this book, I see how she said, you have done this by yourself. Meaning, I want to believe that anybody that's ever picked up this book and took this journey did it by themselves as well. Because they say it is a self-healing journey. But there's nobody that's come out like me. And that's why I kind of have this lingering feeling that nobody's really taken this journey to the full extent like me. And for great reasoning. Because when we watch those videos and you see what it did to me, and that's why I was crying about it, it's like it tore me apart. But I tore myself apart doing it. It's like, why don't you just get a job? Why don't you stop doing this? Why don't you just fucking be normal? I can't be normal till I figure out what's wrong with me. And the more I grabbed in there, dude, the more I found. There's just more and more things that made me, you know what I mean? I wasn't normal. Or if I was, it was not authentic. It was just a programming in that brain. I don't know, man. Let me move on to this. So this stage brings on a lot of depression and stuff when you really start feeling what this is facing is your really interpersonal relationships. No matter, the more pages I read here, we dig deeper into your relationships with the opposite sex or same sex or whatever your codependent relationships is. Because if you're not like me, if you're not in a physical relationship, then you also are extremely codependent to friendships. You're very, you know what I mean? You're always looking for an intimate relationship, not always physical. You know what I mean? If you're turned off from physicality, it doesn't mean that you're still not looking for that intimate relationship. So then it still will show up in your friendships, your work relationships, you know what I mean? All of this. If you have relationship issues, they're going to show up in all of your relationships. You know what I mean? It's not limited to what the actual issue is. This is going to show up in all areas of your life, because ultimately what we're trying to do is build relationships. We can't build relationships with people when we have such warped, not just codependency, but, you know what I mean, attachment issues. And that's what Russ shares. And I never looked that up, Russ, but he says he has, these attachment issues. I did go to Dr. Phil's marriage boot camp, and I learned about the different love languages. But we have different attachment styles. That's what it was called, attachment styles. And that's the art of detachment, where you don't have to be so clingy, where the possessiveness doesn't come into play, the insecurities, the jealousies, the controlling of this is my person. That girl, I hit her hard with that yesterday. She said something to me. I just was already bothered. She was just yip-yapping. She shut the fuck up finally. She's like, my kids are like, she's out there being loud. I was like, I know. I've watched her for weeks. And even Taz is my neighbor. Taz is like, what is it with that loud bitch? I was like, she's got to be the loudest in the room. Why is she the loudest? Because she needs the attention most than everyone. So she does it, but she does it with a demeanor where she's trying to talk down to these men. I watch her do it because I'm sitting there all day You know what I mean? Watching. So now I come out. No, I'm like yip yapping and jaw jacking. If you're scared, go to church. Got to be the loudest motherfucker in the room. And I walk out saying that straight to their face. And they said, who are you talking about? I said, I'm talking about all of you God's children. You need so much attention. Just got to be running your mouths and being seen and not saying nothing. Right? I'm literally taking a direct hit at this girl. And she's like, didn't I ask you for a cigarette and you said no? I said, it's always a no with me. Anytime you ask me for a cigarette, it's a no. Anytime you ask me for anything, it's a no. She's all, but didn't you ask my nika for a cigarette? I said, oh, that's your nika? That's your nika? That's what I said twice. It's a white boy. It's a whole white boy, and she's a black girl. And he's like, oh man, is he a loyal little bitch? He's like, you know, he treats her like royalty and shit. Whatever you say, whatever you like, whatever you say. He probably sits there like literally eating her out all day, whatever she says. Literally, he's like that kind of guy, right? I was like, oh, that's your nika? That's your nika? Well, I don't ask your nika for nothing. That's your nika, and he takes care of you. So ask your nika for a cigarette, because I don't ask him for shit. And then she turns to him, and she says, isn't that the girl that sits there all the time? I said, the witch? The witch that sits there all day? Yeah, I'm on this side right now. That's me. I sit there all day and I don't ask nobody for shit. Not never. The witch that sits right there, the priestess, that's me. And she says, didn't she ask you for a cigarette? He said, no, she ain't never asked me. Come on, let's go inside. Let's go inside. She ain't never asked me. No. Yeah, take that bitch inside. You better take that bitch inside. And the essence is like, so then he went in, but the friend was still out there. I was like, she demasculines the shit out of that dude. He said, I know. I said, you let her talk to you like that? He said, it bothers you at least, right? Tell me it bothers you. He said, yeah, I don't like it. I said, because that means you can feel that that she's lacking respect in how she talks to you. She can talk to him like that, but she ain't talking to me like that, and she shouldn't be talking to nobody like that. It's kind of something I said about some shit like that. It's like, this bitch. Anyways, I don't know where that story came from. What were we talking about? I don't know. Just some bitches and some bitch ass shit. And that's, I guess we were talking about boyfriends, I guess. Like, you know, like you want him to take care of you, but you want him to be a bitch about it. Like you want to show that you're all, you know what I mean? In the sense of, it's all, I'm just here to witness and try to, I don't know where I fit into this bullshit. Because then you got men like fucking Logic and fucking Royce and fucking Nate NF that like all they gotta do to be good and fucking Bobby, motherfucker. All they gotta do is, you know what I mean, bring home a paycheck. Make sure the bills is paid and, you know what I mean, everybody got what they want and they're good men. That's all it takes. I have special love needs. I need a little bit more than that. I have more, but in the sense of, do I need that? I want all the things that I've never had. So in essence, there's a desire. I can't say a need, meaning a need would mean like I can't provide this on my own. What is it about men I can't provide? I mean, at this time and age, I don't need you to make a baby. I don't need you to help me raise a baby. But what if I desired this experience more than anything? I don't need it. I desire it. Do I need you to be Lewis Hamilton or Marshall Mathers or, you know what I mean, something? No, I don't need you to be bigger, just better than what I've seen. It's like, I needed love. But what is that? Is it physically a touch? Is it more than a hug? It's a very interesting one on page 155. What do you need? It's like I needed someone. I just needed someone to be there with me. Is that a healthy need? To just need someone? And if you start from something so basic and so primitive, then that leaves the opportunity for anyone. Pretty deep. Pretty deep. In the sense of, I don't judge. I just try to figure it out. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? I'm not trying to when I get to you, then I got to figure out, well, what's wrong with you? But and then that goes back to it, I spend way too much time trying to figure out what's wrong with me. Going back to those guys, I never thought about you, not never till today. I don't fucking think about you people. And when God tells me to go to your page and make you a part of my life, I tell you, God said. Or if you're in my memory, I say, you popped up in my intuition and stuff. I spend too much time on me. I have to. What are you doing with me, God? What is going on with me? I have no idea. Obviously, I can stop focusing on me long enough to sit down and let's see what God's doing with you, and let me, put some focus and time and energy on you, which is great. But in the sense of, I don't spend all day, like most of you, with my head up everybody else's ass. What are they doing? What are they doing? What are you doing? What are they doing? There'll be a time when I do it. And when I'm there. You know it. It's not like quiet. I pop up in your fucking stories. I'll like it or not like it or comment on it. You're like, oh, she's in my shit. Yeah. If I'm in your shit, there's a 99.9% chance that I'm in other people's shit too at that particular moment. Meaning, I sat down with a meal or something, and I do what you do. I'm human for a minute. And I start looking through my app, and it takes like a minute. I'm like, oh, well, that was uninspiring. Let me go back. And then I'll put on, I swear to you, since we've been here, I'll put on FX, because there's always some superhero movie, and I'll watch some superhero movie. Oh, now it's Marvel? What are we watching? Dude, there's always some great shit. You know what I mean? I'll watch some superhero bullshit, and then I'll go back to listening to music. You know what I mean? Until God puts my focus on something else. But all day, my focus is on me. It really is. In a non-selfish way. It's a full healing way. Alright, so there's all of this stuff. I'd like to get past all this crap. When you get past to this, you're going to get an initiation of hope and inspiration. You know what I mean? But meditation for journeying within the void, and that's really where you're going in, is to some of your darkest places. Because your relationships to others are dark situations. Ultimately, we want to have everlasting relationships, but relationships are nothing but hard work, and they're all contractual. They're not built on unconditional love. Mine are. They're being built on that foundation. Meaning, you know what I mean? Mine are. And that goes back to Bobby. That goes back to all of my twin flames. I started to have it with one individual. And then I was like, okay, can you have that with this one? Oh, you're pushing me to the extremes. Then I learned how to love this type of individual and unconditionally. And this type. Until I can learn to love all types of individuals unconditionally. Unconditionally means I'm going to love you with the understanding that I might never receive anything back. There's no condition to how I love you. It means I'm loving you because I have the ability to love. And that's what I told Bobby earlier. I said something like that. I was like, what did I say? Fuck. Think. Slap the shit out of myself trying to remember something that I don't remember. I said it was amazing to see how far I could love, because I never loved anyone like that. And just to see it, you could say that I loved you more than anyone because I had that ability to love you more than anyone's let me. But in the sense of, it was just fun to love him. It was just fun to love him. It felt good, and that's what all of my twin flames know. They all know how good it feels for me to have my attention and affection and admiration and love. I'm just filling you. They know what it meant for me to be in his DMs. They knew I was just going to tell him how great he was, how much I care about him, how, that's it. I'm just a caring, loving individual. You know what I mean? And it feels good to be supporting you and loving you and, interested in you. And that's where it is. It's like, you take away my ability to love you. You don't take away the love. Just because I can't give it to you doesn't mean it goes anywhere. In the sense of, you're not talking to me doesn't mean I don't love you. It just means I can't tell you how much I love you. Which is probably a good thing, because every time I do, it's too much. And that's where it is that's what I told him. I was like, you're just the guy I love too much. Meaning I loved him until it was too much. What happened? That's it. I just loved him till it was too much. What happened to Russ? I loved him till it was too much. What happened to Marshall? I loved him till it was too much. What is too much for you? You know what I mean? There's your ceiling. Nobody can love you anymore. This is as far as you'll let anyone love you. Okay. Oh, okay. And that's where I get it. Where is mine? How close are you going to let me get before you run away from me? And that's the karma. That's the mirror. It's like, oh, I get it. I'd be like that too. I'd be running away. It's like, oh, this is too much. But then you gotta come, that's the difference, is like, if I don't keep trying, then I give up. And all this trying means nothing. If I don't actually, fall in love and love someone, then all this trying is for nothing. And that's the whole point of, where am I supposed to go back? And then I get irritated. But I don't, I just get burnt out on it. I don't give up. I just want it to go away. Like, is this ever gonna end? Nope. Nope. And nope. It doesn't end till I win. And that's the shit. It's like, oh, this is gonna take for real, like 56 years, like for real? Like, how long is this gonna take for me? It's not them. Not really. I mean, in essence, sure, yeah, these guys aren't going to let me. But at the end, it's like, how far will I let me go to love somebody? Right? And when I let myself go, and that's what happened. I let myself love him this far, so he let me love that far. But that's as far as we can go. Is that my fault? No. And that's the thing. It's like, we can't love each other any more than what we already do, because of circumstances as they are. And that's how it is with all of them. It's like, I can't love you anymore because of you and your lifestyle. In the sense of, am I going to love all of you that same way? No. And that's where we go into this too, is understanding, like, that doesn't have to be the next level of love with everybody. Childhood fucking trauma fucking reprogramming, dude. It's not like A plus B equals blowjob C. And then you get the D. No, we need to reprogram how this works. Taking back your power. I'm powerless to the way that I think this works, and it's not working. I feel like that's what we're supposed to do, right? That's what you guys say. There's this protocol to dating. You're supposed to, like, go out and then wait like 2 days to text, and then you're supposed to wait this many days for sex, and then this. And when you don't meet the guidelines, the rules, the regulations, the terms, and applications to all of this process, it's a no. It's a no. It's a no. Out with the old, in with the new. Like, no, that's not how love is. It's not constructed. It's not something that you construct and you go with. You go berserk in it. You go berserk. The only control you have is you trying to control yourself not to give into it. And that's where it's like, I spent a whole lot of time trying not to love you. And furthermore, even more time trying to understand why I love you. I could have just been, loving you, and who cares why I love you? And you could sit there all day. Why does she love me? I don't know. I'm tired of asking that question. I've asked that. There's not a specific reason. You didn't give me a reason. I can't find one. I'm tired of asking. She's going to stop. I've realized that's not going to happen. I don't stop loving people. I get irritated with them. But I'm very forgiving. I don't stop loving. That's not true. That's not true. I learned lessons. Not to love people so much. That's about it. That's all. In the sense of, I don't know. I'm not like them. We are not alike. Where'd this come from? Loving myself, bro. When you get into the part of, when you get into yourself and your psyche and you realize what's been done to you and how fucked up, how that nobody ever loved you, you love yourself more. That's really it. You learn to have a love for yourself. Now, naturally, again, the twin flame connection is like, your bitch ass done made me realize how fucked up I am, and now I have to heal this in order to love you. It's kind of how this keeps working. It's like, it just makes me love everyone and myself more. But ultimately, going back to it, you didn't hurt me. My way of life hurted me. I don't know, God hurt me. My feelings hurt. We're learning to deal with those. Give me a minute. I can get over these hurt-ass feelings. Or maybe I'm just going to hurt for a minute and I just want to, like, hurt. You know? In the sense of, every fucking month, my fucking body hurts so bad that I think I'm going to die. I literally have these... I wonder if I did it in another life. Or maybe other women have. I have this vision, bro, where I'm sitting there with a knife. And I literally start stabbing my uterus, bro. Just stabbing it, bro. Just stabbing it. I don't know if I did that in another life and maybe there was a child in there. Or maybe I just hate it. But I see it every fucking period I get. I just want to fucking stab that shit and kill it and just rip it out of me. As bad as it hurts, I'll be crying and I hate it and I hate it and I hate it. But it goes away. But guess what? It'll come back again to hurt me again. And this pain will it'll feel worse than the last pain. Except for there was this one time when I didn't have any pain. And that was pretty awesome. And then there's some of those days where a Friday doesn't hurt so bad. You're like, oh, I'm not crying. I'm not hurting. I'm not dying. But did you die? Yeah, it fucking killed me. That's it. It's like, did that memory kill you? Yeah, it fucking kills. It's called the ego death. It really kills, bro. They kill, dude. Your memories kill. They really do. They fuck up your vibe in the sense of. But you just got to go back and feel these killer feelings, dude. And feel better about it. That's what I teach you. I am your High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer and teacher. I teach you how to do this shit spiritually, bro. With the gods. I teach you how to do this through gods. And I show you the scientific ways and methods and all that. And we use all these fucking fun acts and shit. But the whole thing is about you healing yourself and getting closer to God. Is what I really, really, really do over here. It comes with all these cool labels and all this other bullshit. But it's all I do for myself, and that's what I offer to others. I can't offer you anything than that. Is the same healing that I get from myself. Life-altering healing that's given by God. Right? But I also show you, it's fucking painful. Nobody wants to do this shit. They sure like to watch it, though. These are weirdos. You like to watch people suffer. I mean, ultimately, and that's where they get mad. Like, there's these people that get mad. I just want to point out my girls are here. For sure. I needed my mother and my sister during this time. She knows all too well about what it means to, you know what I mean, give your body for attention. And she never gave her body to nobody. Nobody! So, I needed, you know, all of the light and dark. We're a whole family in this. That's it. It's like, yeah, those are the only women in mind. Those are the only women that get me. Her and her. Makes sense, right? Yeah, do your healing. What is today? Sexual healing. I mean, obviously everything's coming up to play, but this is just what came to play today. It's like, what shadow today? It's our shadows today. Yeah, let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that can be. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about... I just want to tell you that was Salt and Pepper, Black and White. It's black, it's white. And that goes back to R. Kelly. You guys see him as such a fucking sinister man. His women just wanted to please him. And he probably told them the same things that my men told me. Fine, if you're not going to do it, then leave. I'll find someone else to do it. In the sense of, I just want to love you. My mind's telling me no, but my body. It's kind of demented and sick and shit, but it really is. It's like, how can you love your perpetrator? They call it this weird thing called,
Stockholm Syndrome.
I suffer from a lot of mental illnesses, but we clear them all over here. We have plenty of, you know what I mean, healing modalities for whatever you may be suffering from. If you're suffering from compulsive disorder, just hit 1 multiple times. If you're suffering from paranoia, just know I know you and I can find you. If you're suffering from schizophrenia, just listen quietly to the voice and it'll tell you what to do next. I saw all of this on a meme, bro. It's not mine. I promise you. I did not create it. I saw it on this fucked up fucking suicide line. And they were like making fun of every mental illness there was out there. It's all, if you're dyslexic, plus 6969696969. If you have short-term memory loss, just wait a little longer and then call back. It was a fucked up fucking joke. It's not. Mental illness it's pretty much a joke. Really, what's wrong with us? Life has fucked us up. We got to deal with this illness that you say is incurable, but I found a cure. And I give it away for free. You don't even have to pay for it. You just got to cry with me. I mean, it's really painful. Let's cry. What happened to you? Can we talk about your parents? Nobody wants to do this with you, but I was trained to do it. I would do this with you. I didn't even go to college for this. You know what I did? I went through my own painful feelings just for you. Who's going to help me? Necromancy. I talk to spirits and stuff. Hey, I love you. Laters. Bye.